Hey guys, today we're going to be doing some analysis of some fencing footage that I posted earlier. So in this video, I am fencing my buddy Josh from False Edge HEMA. So he's the guy over here and I'm the guy over here. We're doing longsword fencing and we're just going to break down how things went and talk about what I did right, what I did wrong, what he did right. I'm not going to actually talk about what he did wrong because I'm not him and that's not my place. So I'm going to focus on me and what I can improve on. But I will say what he did right. So you can see I'm starting with this very forward guard. I've got my tip out, my sword's pointed at him, and I'm presenting a clear threat. I'm not in a specific guard. I'm not blocking off one side or the other. This is long point, and it's just making a threat that he has to deal with. And you can see immediately he tries to start to take my sword out of the way. So in this type of swordsmanship, we often talk about hitter, taker, provoker. So we have a hitter where we're trying to hit the other person. We have a taker where one person tries to take the other person's blade. And a provoker is where we try and provoke the person to move. So right now he's doing a couple of those things. So this would be a taker. You can see him try and swing at my blade. This is this is more of a provoker, I would say. He doesn't think he's gonna get my blade. He does swing at it, but I don't think he thought he was gonna get it. He wants me to move and do something with my sword. This one here, hold on a second. That's a hitter. So you can see Josh gets down low and he tries to snipe my hand, then I retreat out of it. And I'm looking for an opening. I'm trying to get down his timing and his movement to see if I can find an opening. And I notice he likes takers. So what I do here is I disengage his taker and I thrust. So let's look at that again really quick. Josh swings in here. He's trying to do a taker on my blade. I'm kind of presenting it in a spot where I think he might take it. As he swings, I deceive. I go down, and then I go back up, and I thrust. Now, I didn't do this great. What I should have done is I should have, see how my foot moves? My foot moves here at the same time I go forward. I should be moving my hand first, but it's not the worst. It's still pretty good. It just means I don't have as much of an out if something goes wrong. And I get that thrust. Boom, just like that. So what I'm trying to do here, and I try and do this a couple times, I've been working from this shoulder tog, and what I want to do is I want to indicate in one line of attack here, switch to a different line, and cut. And I actually don't know, do I get that? It looks like I kind of get that. It looks like I get that. When I edited this, I gave this to Josh, but that looks like it makes contact. I think I do hit him here. I can't tell. But what I'm trying to do is I indicate in this line of attack, I switch, I hit in this line of attack, which I think I do. I just don't think it was very good. And then he comes and he hits. I don't know if it's after blow or if it is, if he deflects me. But in the video, I definitely gave it to him. So, see, fencing is hard. Even when I've already reviewed this footage and I thought I knew what happened. But, yeah, judges don't catch everything either, so. Anyway, so I come in, I go on this side, I have the inside line, I'm pretty sure I hit there. And then he comes around and he hits too. Can't tell. I hear a noise too, thump. Anyway, whatever, moving on. So here, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to indicate in a high line because what I want to do is I want to thrust here, and as soon as I feel contact, I want to zverk around to the other side, but I do it very slowly. And that gives him an opportunity to do a counterattack into my preparation and then defend. So I come up here, I present a threat, but it's not a good enough threat. He knows it's not gonna hit. But he goes to parry it, and as soon as he makes contact, what I should be doing right here, as soon as I see him moving here, I should already be moving into my next attack, into my zverk, where I spin around my head and cut him on the other side. But I'm not used to this move, I wasn't confident in it, and I was slow. And you can see that he's already deflecting and coming under, and he attacks my arm on the way in, and then he leaves this hanging guard up and he blocks on the way out. So I thrust, he deflects, hits, and I get parried. So in this one, what happens is I present a thrust forward. He's got this low guard, he wants to hit my hands, but his is flat. You can see there that his sword doesn't have edge alignment. This might have smarted, this might have hurt my hands, maybe even caused me to bleed a little bit, but it wouldn't have done any real damage. And my thrust is sufficient. It touches, he's going back, so this would have been first blood, probably not death, but it's a good touch. So now what I don't do well here, you can see, I move my foot first and then my hands come out, which isn't the best. I should have moved my hands first and then my foot. but it wasn't the worst thing. It was a decent thrust. Let's see here. So this is actually a really funny one. I try and get him here with an undercut, but what happens is you can see down here, my sword gets caught in his pants, and it flexes. I would have hit him, but I caught his pants, and then he's able to throw in a cut right there. So, pants block. So he's trying to get my hands. He's trying to get my hands. And again, I try my feint cut, but this time he knows it's coming, and I feint. He doesn't even bother, because my feint kind of is bad. My feint, it's supposed to be to this line here. I'm trying to take my sword and feint to this line right here, but I don't wait long enough, and I immediately switch. You can see the angle of my cut switching. He sees that. He comes up and meets it, and then he turns around, and he cuts to there. And I kind of, honestly, I kind of give up here. I don't know what I'm doing. I was trying to do something and wrestle through it, and I didn't do a good job of it. Now, before anybody gets mad, he's not cutting hard, and my back of my head is protected. This did not hurt. Don't yell at me in the comments. So in this, I'm trying to find a line of attack to thrust in, and I do a couple of things wrong, and that's why he's able to thrust me here. First of all, I start with my whole body. You can see, instead of my hands coming forward like they should, my entire body starts to move. And then he moves, he displaces me, he moves his hands first. Well, he kind of moves his foot too, but not as much as me. His thrust comes out, it connects, it pushes mine off to the side, I miss, and I run into his blade. This is a mistake on my part. Boom. And here, this is annoying. He just catches me being lazy. He cuts to hands, and I thought I had myself covered. I start to do something else. He just gets that cut in. Now I could have absolutely afterblowed him here. I was within time to make that thrust, but I felt the cut to my hands, and I am of the opinion that if a cut is delivered to the hands, there should be no afterblow, because I mean he would have stopped my ability to be able to use that sword if he hit a cut of that quality in my hands. So I didn't deliver the afterblow. I think it would be silly to deliver the afterblow. Bam. And I don't make that thrust. I gain distance, and I set up on my shoulder again. I feint here. I draw out a cut. I'm a little bit quick. I'm a little bit quick to abandon this. It wasn't as good as it could have been, but he still falls for it, and he raises his hands. I cut around. I cut to his shoulder again. Now this succeeds because I move sword first and then I move legs. You can't see it, I'm off screen, but I should have made a better attack. Boom, just there. So he's going for those hands again. Now in this situation, I catch him making these big movements. I notice that he's got these upward cuts. He cuts to my hands, and I notice he's open right there, and he's in distance. He's open and in distance. So I reach out. My sword doesn't move first again. It's my body, which isn't great, but I reach out full extension, and I get him in the arm. Pop, just like that. Going for that undercut, and here I do feint to the head, cut to the leg. So what I do here is I put my sword out first. Sword moves first. My foot moves a little bit to facilitate the movement, but not much. My sword extends. It's a provoker. I provoke him to move his sword high to deal with me, and then I cut low to the leg as soon as I see him move. So sword moves first, cut to the leg, just like that. And right here what happens is I do a small forward motion. Josh parries it. He zverks around. I use distance to get away. And then this movement here, this is kind of just a get back move. If it hits, great. I have the distance for it, but really I just want to move away. I do a one-handed thrust to the face. It does almost hit. I pull it back immediately. The important thing about this movement is if you fully commit to this, it's easy for them to take control of your blade. So I throw my blade out, and then I immediately pull it back. I accomplish what I want. I get him to move back, and then I come into range, and I just see an opening. So right here, I see him starting to do something with his sword, turning his body, but he's very much within range. I don't move my hands first, which is a mistake. I move my body first, but I reach out and I do a thrust in time to stop him right there. It was a really fun bout. I love fencing with Josh. I always have a good time. And like this says right here, if you like what we do here, if you like this content, please support the channel. I'd love to do more of these. Let me know in the comments what you think. Did you like this analysis? Did you like the analysis? And I'll move this up a little bit so that you can see where you can go and help us out if you'd like to help us out. So thank you for watching. This has been some fencing analysis. Yeah.